let me walk you through how to create a preset for 714 monitoring. I start selecting presets. I go to new. I want to call it 714, like this. I go to new application. Applications can be monitoring for monitor control, leveling for controlling levels in your Dante network, metering, and talkback. I want to build a monitor control, so I select monitoring. And I want to go 714. I select immersive, and I select 714. The monitor control section has two inputs, A and B. A will now be 714, and I have an option to set what B is, which format B is. In this case I have nothing, so I just go off. The same with outputs. The output A would be 714, and output B, we can in this case say we have a stereo set of speakers we also want to add, so I select stereo. Now I have set the fundamental or the basic parameters for my monitoring application. I need to do two things more. First, I need to set my routing. The routing is basically divided in inputs and outputs, and first I select my inputs. So routing from the Dante channels into my monitoring application. So up here I see my Dante channels from 1 to 32, and my microphone, which is the onboard microphone on the device, and the XLR connector for external microphones. I want to select, or I want to route from my Dante channels to my inputs. I can press Control on my keyboard, and that way it automatically selects all available channels. I do like this, and you can see it has routed it now. It has also routed from Dante channel 13 to my SPL. I probably don't want that because I have a built-in microphone and I want to use that for SPL measurement. So I do like this, and now it's routed from my internal microphone to the SPL measurement. On the output side, I want to route from my monitoring outputs to my Dante channels. And you can now see that it has created a lot of connections here. And it's because the monitoring application actually does have quite a few outputs. You can see it has my 714. It also has the stereo that we created for output B. It also has outputs from the down mixer, left, right, and mono, from the phones section and from the calibration sections. Now, probably I want to route from output B to line left and right, and not these ones. I don't want to route from my output, from my down mixer in this case, and I probably want my phones to go to my phone's output here. And I don't need the routing from the calibration section. So that's it. 714 routed to 1 to 12 on my Dante channels, and output B to the line outs, phones to the phones out. That's it. That was the routing. The last step I need to take is the view. I need to build my view, so I go to Edit View, and here you see a representation of my screen on my device. It's here. We call it a view. And over here you can see the instruments that are available for that view. Here I have my speaker instrument. I put it here, nice and big. Here I have my down mixer. I would like to place it here. This is my SPL measurement, and that is the measurement that is done by the microphone because we routed from the microphone to the SPL. I also would like to see the SPL number, and I would like to see my volume. This is my current volume setting. On top of that, I have quite a few different buttons over here I can add. Also, if I click here on an instrument, I can see if there are any special buttons that I can add here. In this case, I have a solo cut phase button. Basically, the button that decides what happens when I press a speaker here. Does it solo? Does it cut? Does it do phase inversion? Let me put that here. I definitely want an output selector because I have both my 714 and my stereo set. So I put my output selector over here. And then I always want my reference. And my reference button would be the one that always recalls my reference level or reference volume. Since I have a couple of phones, I would like to be able to enable those. And let me see, I will probably want a button also to mute the speakers in case that somebody calls or something like that. Okay, that's basically it. I go back here and I now say save, and I can see that my 714 is now here. And when I saved it, it was transferred to my device, ready for use. That's basically it. Setting up a 714 monitor control preset for the TouchControl 5.